Welcome back to the deep dive. So you've poured everything into creating a really fantastic product,
Oh,
and now comes that big moment. Where do you actually sell it?
hmm
This isn't just about, picking a website. It's a really core strategic choice. It can shape your whole business path.
absolutely.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into navigating one of those really crucial decisions for growth, for visibility, choosing between, say, a huge global marketplace and maybe a more focused local one.
Yeah,
We've gathered a bunch of sources, and we're going to try and pull out the most important bits of knowledge for you. Okay, let's unpack this.
exactly. And this decision, it's way more than just transactional, isn't it? It really digs deep into your whole business model.
Hmm.
Think supply chains, customer relationships, your long-term goals.
Right.
So our aim today isn't just the surface pros and cons. It's about getting into the why it matters, helping you align this choice with, your specific vision for your business.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Global platforms. We're talking the big names, yeah. Amazon, eBay, maybe Shopify, that kind of thing.
The giants.
And the immediate draw, the really obvious one, is just the sheer scale. I mean, our sources show platforms like Amazon handle a massive chunk of US e-commerce.
Huge.
It's like a direct line to hundreds of millions of active customers globally. These people are already there, already buying. You can sort of tap into that habit instantly.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how they offer that immediate access to a truly worldwide customer base. Think about the potential growth. It could be exponential.
Right.
We saw one case study, a small tech gadget company. They went from basically nothing to millions in revenue in just 2 years. And they did it mostly using Amazon's global fulfillment network.
Wow.
Yeah, so it bypasses that whole slow, traditional way of expanding internationally. You're kind of a fast track to global audiences. Plus, you get built-in payments, often warehousing too.
Okay, that sounds amazing, like an unmatched opportunity. But with that kind of massive reach, surely there's a catch, like intense competition.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a gladiatorial arena, as you said.
Yeah.
Our sources really paint that picture vividly. Everyone's fighting for eyeballs.
Yeah.
If you're a new seller, or maybe even an established brand with a new niche product, getting seen organically, that can be incredibly difficult.
We saw some data, didn't we, suggesting it can take, what, 6 to 9 months for a new product to rank organically on these big platforms.
Right.
And that's without huge ad spending.
Exactly. And that's where those hidden costs can really creep in. If you look at the bigger picture, it kind of forces you to ask, how do you stand out when like the whole world is your competition, literally tens of thousands of others?
So you need deep pockets.
Often, yeah. Sellers face pretty significant pay-per-click ad costs, PPC, just to get their products seen in those initial search results. For some really competitive categories, bids can be several dollars just for one click. And that's before you even know if you'll make a sale. So it demands a really hard look at your customer acquisition strategy.
Right.
How much can you actually afford to spend on marketing just to get that first look?
Okay, so if the global stage needs a big marketing budget and maybe a thick skin, what's the other option for people looking for maybe a different kind of engagement?
Well, that's where the local marketplace comes in. It offers
Yeah.
a completely different vibe, as you put it.
Right. What's the main advantage there?
The big one is usually much lower competition. Your product is suddenly way more visible, but to a specific local audience.
An audience that maybe already gets your brand, understands where you're coming from, your local connections, perhaps?
Exactly. It feels less about just raw transactions, more about building actual relationships.
That sounds interesting. So more personal connection.
Yeah, and that depth of engagement you can get when your audience is really local. That's a
Mm.
key thing to think about. We've seen local businesses reporting much higher customer lifetime value, CLTV, compared to their global competitors.
Really? Higher lifetime value.
And it's not just about that one sale. It's about building loyalty, maybe through personal interactions, community events, word of mouth,
Hmm.
things that are harder to scale globally.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about like a local artisan, someone selling handmade jewelry. They might find their local community really values the story behind their work or their connection to local craft fairs, that sort of thing.
Oh.
And that can lead to this really fiercely loyal customer base, people who actively champion the brand because they feel connected to it.
That focus on deep connections, community support, it sounds really appealing. But does that personal touch actually scale up, Or do the sources show like a limit to growth with local models?
Well, that's the flip side, isn't it? The clear limitation for local marketplaces, well, it's limited reach.
Right. Your growth is kind of stuck within that region or community. You're not tapping into those hundreds of millions globally overnight.
No, you're not. And that's a critical point. Scalability is inherently limited by geography. But our research also points to some surprising long-term value in those higher CLTV figures for local businesses.
So it's a trade-off.
It's a fascinating trade-off, yeah. You got deep personal connection, often higher conversion rates because there's more trust perhaps, versus that huge, maybe faster, but incredibly competitive growth you might get on global platforms. It really makes you pause and think about your own long-term plans, doesn't it? Are you trying to build a tight-knit community around your product, or are you aiming for like a global empire?
And crucially, what resources do you actually have to back either of those paths up?
Precisely.
So ultimately, what our sources seem to be telling us pretty clearly is that the best choice, global or local, it really hinges on your specific business goals and your resources. It kind of boils down to a fundamental strategic fork in the road. Are you gunning for massive global market share and ready to, invest heavily to compete? Or do you prefer maybe a more manageable, closer customer base where those personal connections can really thrive and loyalty might be, well, king?
It just means that understanding your own strategic vision is absolutely essential. There's no single right answer here that fits everyone.
Right.
The most valuable thing you can take away is getting crystal clear on your specific goals for growth, the kind of customer relationships you want, your desired market presence. You need that clarity before you make this big platform decision.
So it's about aligning the platform with your whole business philosophy.
Exactly. Your strategy has to drive the platform choice and not the other way around.
Okay. So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Well, the decision between going global or staying local with your marketplace, it's a really strategic one.
It hangs on whether you're prioritizing that huge global reach and you're geared up for intense competition, maybe significant ad spend, or if you'd rather have a more manageable, close-knit customer group where personal ties and deep loyalty can really flourish.
Which leads to, I think, an important question for you to ponder, beyond just where you sell.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship do you truly want to build with your customers?
That's a great point.
Yeah, think deeply about the resources you have, your core business values, and that long-term vision. Is your product, your brand, better suited to being, say, a big fish in a small, very loyal pond?
Sure.
Or are you ready to cast a really wide net into that global ocean, prepared for whatever waves come your way?
A lot to think about there. And that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks so much for joining us and letting us help you think through these really crucial strategic decisions.
Yeah, hopefully it helps.
We hope this gives you some good food for thought as you chart your next big business move.